welcome to A Day in Our Life, and today is actually also sort of our first day of school. Now, I say sort of because we usually school year-round, but during the summer, that basically means that we school 2, maybe 3 days a week and not have a very strict schedule, because if the weather is going to be amazing, we are off to the pool, or at least we're going to spend our time outside and have fun. So we did schoolwork, but we didn't do it as strict as we usually do. So that is what starts today. This is the first day where we actually get back into our regular routine. So it's almost 9 o'clock, which means that we're going to start schoolwork. And I have a new schedule, and I'm probably going to get into more detail later, but we have a new schedule, sort of, and that means that at 9 o'clock we start our schoolwork and we do our morning basket. And as of our morning basket, then I do separate work or individual work with my 2 kids. So our middle child is now 6 years old. She is in kindergarten, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do her first because her work is not as much. So she goes first, and then during the time that I school her, my 2 boys will go outside and they will play together. They will just be in the playground, have fun together. When I'm done with schooling our daughter, I will get our oldest back inside. Our daughter can go outside with our youngest, keep him busy because he's 3, so he needs to be kept busy, especially during schoolwork, or he will be a major distraction. So he will be outside with our daughter then, and then our oldest will come back inside and he does a little bit more work. So for him, I actually scheduled in an hour and a half to 2 hours for him to do language arts, math, some extracurricular, and his extra language. So that is what we do after that. And then we have lunch and we do the rest of our day. But we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We start with school first. So let's get started with schooling our daughter first. Okay, so we just finished school with our daughter, and the 2 boys were outside, and my oldest should be coming inside now. I sent her out and I said, bring your brother back in. So he should be coming back in a minute. And then I'm gonna do schoolwork with him. Now it's already 11 o'clock. It's been 11 o'clock already. So we have a bit of a late start today, but that's okay. We did a bunch of extra things. I put a little bit more effort into our schedule, which I actually put right here. And I showed them that this is gonna be what our regular day is gonna look like. This is some things that are important, and this is just our regular calendar time. So I really wanted to emphasize, okay, this is what our schedule will look like this year. And I'm gonna go more in depth on what our schedule will look like this year, but that is what I actually told them too. And I did a bunch of these things, and then we obviously did our morning basket too. So it took a little longer than I expected, but that's okay. But now if my son comes back in, which hopefully he does, then we can start our schoolwork together. And then once that is done, I can start tackling my laundry, and then it should be time for lunch. So we'll see how it goes planning wise, but let's see where he is and get him back inside. Okay, so school is almost done. We only have one more subject with my oldest, but it's 1 o'clock, so I wanted to have him outside, spend some time in the sunshine. So we're gonna finish that later. But while they are outside, the oldest two are actually outside and my youngest is napping, I'm gonna tackle our organization thing for school because my organization is not that great. We have this big box for each child and it is quite heavy, and my youngest, or well, my middle child, or youngest in school, I should say, she cannot really lift this very easily. It is a bit too heavy for her. So what I'm thinking is getting all of this into this cart because I have this, I hardly ever use it, but I think this is gonna be way more beneficial because I can just pull it up to the table and use it as our school cart, so to speak, and I can put it in the corner of the room. I hope that is gonna work because we've used this before and it was kind of driving me crazy because it is quite unorganized. It looks unorganized, let's keep it at that. It looks very cluttered and I don't like that look, but I really want to make school more efficient. So I think that this is gonna work. We'll see. I'm just gonna try it, and if it doesn't work, we can always put it back into these boxes, right? So that is what I'm gonna do right now. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to talk a bit more about routine and how important it actually is to have a routine, because I realized that, especially during the summer, like I mentioned before, in our summer, we basically do whatever we feel like. We do some school, we go and have some time outside, we go to a park more, we do more things that are fun. And even though they are fun and our children really enjoy it, I also noticed that after, let's say the first 2, maybe 3 weeks, they will enjoy it. And then after that, it kind of, I don't even know how to put it, but they really struggle with the lack of routine. I think that's just the word I'm looking for. So they really thrive on routines, and I thrive on routines, even though I really wish I didn't. Because it's just fun to just do whatever you want to, right? But we're adults, so we can't. And I really noticed that a lot of people will tell you that it's just fun to do what you want to, and if you want to go to the pool, that is the great thing about homeschooling, you can just do whatever you want. And the truth is that children just thrive on routines. So even though you might want to think that homeschooling can just make you do whatever you want, it's not entirely true, because first off, they just have to do some work. This is just work that they have to finish. At the end of their primary school, they have to know a certain amount of things. You can't just say, oh, we'll see what they know. No, they have to know some things, right? So it is something that I realize, and every single year, the same thing happens, honestly. We love summer, and then after 3 or 4 weeks, we are gonna hoping that summer ends soon. So we are now at the point where everybody goes back to school in our area. So we actually chose today to be our back to school day as well, just along with the others, and to just have that routine again. And I really see that that is something that our children just thrive on. So I just wanted to encourage you with that having a routine and making things more like strict for yourself can actually be a big blessing. So don't feel like you have to do what everybody says online, and just do whatever you want to. And if you want to do a field trip today, then go on a field trip. If that is not the way you are wired, then don't do it. Do what works for you. And for me and for the children, honestly, it just works better to have a routine and for them to know what is happening. And that is just something that I really love to do. I also love that we know that in the morning we have school, in the afternoon, I can work when they are playing outside. Right now, I'm actually filming and doing the organization, but usually I will work and I will just sit at my desk and they can just play outside. They don't see me work. They don't need me at that point in time because they are playing outside. They had my attention the entire morning, so I can, without guilt and without shame, or without guilt, not shame, without guilt, I can just do some work. So I do about an hour of work, and then in the afternoon, so the rest of the afternoon, they can just play. We do a read aloud. We do some more fun things. I can do some housework. I can do some homemaking tasks. I can prep dinner. That is more of the flexible side of things. So in the morning, it is more strict where we have our school time. But I know that in the afternoon, I will have time to do my homemaking tasks. So I don't even have to think about it. I can just do it at the end of the day. So that is what I really love about it. I love routines. So let this be a reminder that routines are amazing. You need it, and your kids probably need it too. But let me organize this thing because it's never gonna happen if I keep talking. Okay, so this is what I came up with, sort of. This is our core curriculum. This is our daughter and this is our son. And then these are just some felt tips that are actually really good quality. So I want to keep it here. And I actually want to keep my planner here as well. Maybe I need to add one of these boxes in here again, but we'll see. Anyway, this one is for my oldest. So these are all his extra stuff. So his math box, some extra notebooks, his pens, his whiteboard, you know, things like that. And then this is for our daughter. Same thing, pens, extra little notebooks, and these are some extra books that she can do. So I think this might actually work. We'll see. But I do think it's going to be really nice to just pull this up to the table where we always do our schoolwork and to just grab everything and put it back into here instead of having to throw it into the box and then it doesn't fit and then everything is just messed up. So I think this is going to work better. We'll see. But that is what I was up to right now. Then the children are still outside, so I'm going to do some work. I'm going to do some housework. Actually, I still need to do the dishes from the morning. So that is what I'm going to do first. And then I'm going to do some laundry. So let's go to the kitchen. Okay, so dishes are done. Time for coffee and some strawberries. And my coffee is actually with almond milk because if you're not following me on Instagram, which you totally should, we are actually doing a Whole30 diet and we are now on day 8 and we're doing pretty good, but coffee without cream is just not the same. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy my coffee before I'm gonna do the laundry. I put my laundry outside, so that is done. Now I'm gonna enjoy my coffee and then I'm gonna fold some laundry and then it's 2 o'clock and the kids need to come back inside because then we are gonna start our read aloud. And we are actually still reading Farmer Boy because again, during our summer, we didn't do that much. So we're gonna read Farmer Boy and I think today or tomorrow we're actually gonna finish it. So that is what we're gonna do later. But first, coffee. So with our homeschooling and most of our homemaking tasks done, it is actually about time to start dinner. And as soon as I start making dinner, it usually gets into one big blur and it's kind of hectic for our evening routine. So I'm gonna end the vlog here. I'm gonna spend time with my family and just be with them and be very intentional. But I really hope that this was a fun video for you to watch, that you enjoyed today's video, and I would love to see you in my next one.